Files. This is Painter's Breakfast. I don't know if you've ever heard of the show. You might be new here. You may be one of those lucky few who get to be introduced for the first time to this crazy, weird little show that I have where I talk about art and just ideas and concepts and all these things that come together. And I eat breakfast. When I tell you about my breakfast, it's more interesting than it sounds. I'm mostly just silly the whole time. Yeah, I'm just setting up the Instagram, so give me a moment. Un momento, por favor. And then we'll go from there. We don't have music yet because I'm kind of scared I'm going to get demonetized. Or, I'm not going to get demonetized because I'm not monetized now, but I'm going to get there's a possibility that they will mute me, which that I don't want. I don't want to be muted. I like saying things and my voice. Let me change the filter. Nice and sexy. Broody, if you will. And the show is about to go live on IG. If I can get this to center right. There we go. And we're live. Hola, galeras! What's going on? I'm Jaws Blake. This is the Painter's Breakfast Show. It's a morning show that I do sometimes. Well, I've done for about 40 or so times. And yeah, I'm a painter, as you can tell. And I make art a lot. Sometimes less than what I'd like to make, but still, as I'm told, ridiculously a lot. And yeah, I eat breakfast. So today I have one of my favorite meals that I make for myself, which is oatmeal with roasted peaches and honey. It's been this thing that I've been kind of obsessed with for quite some time. The idea of like roasted fruit. To go with like oatmeal and stuff. I really, really enjoy it. I saw this, I think I saw like a video where somebody had made like cream cheese and like greens, and then they put like peaches, roasted peaches, on like ciabatta bread maybe, and it was just so delicious looking that I started thinking, I'm like, well, I'm not a big cream cheese person, but I do like the idea of roasted peaches. I lived in Georgia for a little bit, and I thoroughly loved the smell and taste of peaches. It was like everywhere. Love them. So, I've been trying it out in a bunch of different ways. I've tried it with pancakes, I've tried it with oatmeal, I've tried it with like smoothies, sandwiches. Very interesting, but pretty delicious actually. Pretty delicious. When I roast, I know I get this question. So when I roast my peaches, how do I roast them? So I put them in a skillet. Take like a slice of butter. I put that in there, and then I just let the peaches kind of just. They already have sugars and stuff, so you don't really need to do anything extremely outlandish to get a lot of hand motions. To get like the flavors out. The problem is I'm out of season right now, so I gotta use frozen peaches. Frozen peaches have a little bit of a different consistency. I like my peaches to be like super soft and mushy and have a lot of flavor. So, you know, do you want it then or do you want it agora? You know, now. So that's the question. Yeah, I have been working on so much artwork recently. That's almost distressing to me. Haven't done any like big paintings for a little bit. And of course, I have my oat milk coffee and my skull mug, because my skull mug. Um, Fall is really interesting. It just kind of came suddenly. It was like 75 degrees outside one day. And then the next day, all the leaves were barren and orange. We got like orange for like half an hour. It's not quite winter though. It doesn't feel like it's close to winter, you know? It feels like fall, sort of. Like the hotter end of fall. But what you gonna do, you know? Recycle, I guess. I guess recycle is what you do. Mm. So, this mat was given to me by my mother. It's got little tassels on it, and it's red, and it's beautiful. I had it folded before this, so it's got a little bit of a crease into it, so I gotta keep stuff down on it so you don't get this thing going. Yeah. But I feel like it's really nice for the show, you know? I made some hoodie stuff. If you go on my stuff, you can see I made a new hoodie for the show. It's very beautiful. It's very nice for the Painter Files channel. Very beautiful. Thank you to those who've already picked up some. That's really cool. I was not expecting that to happen so fast. Mine is in the mail, which is nice, because I have a distributor making it. I've been playing with this idea of how to make the artwork the final bit for the zine be really special and beautiful. And I think I have it, but I'm a little unsure. So I just keep drawing like little ideas and textures and stuff. The problem is in the preparation of trying to get a bunch of stuff done, sometimes you don't end up doing anything. Hey, how's it going? So a lot of the artwork that's kind of coming out right now is kind of like in the works of bigger pieces that are coming. So from that, it feels like for me, like I'm meandering at least. I'm not, but it feels like I am. And so I worry. I worry that it's boring, I worry that it's tedious, I worry that it's not going to be as good as I want it to be or as good as it's expected to be. And I have a message that I want to put out with it, with the last piece. It's connected. Good morning, Helen. Good morning. A message that I want to put out with the last piece. It's kind of a protest piece for the women of Iran. So I'm excited to really put that out. Like, I don't want to water down or lose any of that, because I feel like art's supposed to kind of draw attention to topics and things that are going on in the world. And I've always said that I'm an artist who's like a avid, staunch, like proud person. Not proud person. Avid, staunch protester of injustice. And I feel like, you know, there is injustice there. And if I can somehow draw attention to it via something that I do, so that you hear the voices of the people who are actually suffering in the situation, then that will be great. But, you know, it's not overt, obviously. Nothing is ever overt in the surrealist painter world. But it is, you know, it is there. I want people to know it is there. So that will be a big thing. In the other aspects, I was addressed and by several people about my comment last week, or I think it was last week, about people who use the phrase devil's advocate. And I said, if you use devil's advocate, I hate you. I was like, I don't actually feel that way. I was being sarcastic. But I think the problem that I have run across is I know so many people who use it incorrectly to kind of just take shots at people, you know? It's almost like people who don't understand the word constructive criticism, and so they say stuff like, that's dumb. You know, like, that's not constructive. I think I get a lot of people in the art world and so on. I oftentimes get a lot of people who say a lot of things. Some are actually very helpful. Some open my mind up to like other possibilities and ideas, and I float through the universe this way. And then there are other people who literally want to grab you and pull you down and sit you in a chair and then duct tape you and then put weights on you and so on, so that you're just here like this and you can't go anywhere and you can't do anything. And sadly, I run across more of the pull you down, weight you down people. And that can be a bit aggravating. There you go. Nods vigorously. Thank you. That drives me crazy though, because I run across people who they use the phrase devil's advocate, and they just kind of just shit on people, and that's all they do. They shit on ideas, they shit on people, they want things to stay exactly the way they are, and when people try and look beyond the simple one-way idea, they are the first ones to go like, well, that could never work because blah 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 blah. And you just kind of go like, I mean, I want to see a world where like everybody gets an opportunity. Everybody. I think there was this, all right, perfect example, an actual example of something that happened. I had this theory once that you could, if you were looking to accumulate wealth in society passively, and this could work for everyone from anywhere, you take a little solar charger, you put it out your window, and as that matriculates energy, you sell that energy back to a power company of some sort, if you were allowed. And from the day your child is born to the day they touch the account, there's this tiny increment of money that's just cycling and going and moving and doing for like 20 years. I was like, you could easily establish like a savings for your kid or for yourself or anything of that nature. I was like, the idea of a solar battery being charged and selling excess energy type of thing. And the person in this case who was arguing with me said, well, that doesn't work because then everybody would do it. And then, sometimes you wouldn't get the energy right and so on and so forth. And also, society's not set up that way. And And I'm just like, you have to dream beyond what is currently going on to see possibility to just live. And like literally, this is a concept that my accent's gonna come out from. I'm starting to get heated about it. This is a concept that comes out because like on a very basic kind of idea, like you hear all these people constantly tell you, you need to figure out a way to take care of yourself and save money and do all these things. But if you don't have it, then you can't. So you take something that is accumulative that you can harness, i.e., sunlight, and then you just kind of let it do its thing. Like it shouldn't be something that passive income shouldn't be something that's only viable for the wealthy. So I think my original idea was, what if you bought a plot of land, just like a condemned home on a lot in the city or in a town, however, and then you put a bunch of solar panels up on top of it, or you made a tower with solar panels. Could you take that money, could you take that energy that you collect from there and then sell that directly to the power company? And then whatever you're making, that money just goes into a savings account or a checking account or whatever. And it's just extra money that you would be able to have from that. And I remember just the outright anger and frustration of some people about that idea. They're like, well, other people are going to do this and it's going to ruin it and it's going to do this and it's going to do that and you can't guarantee anything and what happens if stuff breaks down and so on and so forth. And I'm just like, I mean, I understand what you're saying. There are practicals about all this stuff, but there are also the other aspects of like dream beyond where you are, dream beyond what is and what exists, because you can. Like, you don't have to. I'm trying to figure out a way that people who have bad situations, i.e., poverty and oppression and so on and so forth, can get out of that. Why is there not, why does the state not have a solar bank in which they give, a percentage of the energy that they make just freely goes to the people? And like the answer to that is capitalism. But if we could move away from that and just a state works for the people and the concept, so why not? Like we know like the purpose of things is the purpose of giant things and conglomerates and all that stuff are to make money for themselves. But if we could get away from that, think of all like the stress and stuff that would be relieved off of people if they didn't have to worry so much. How do we live in a world or a country that like allows us to suffer because they made up a price, and if you can't make up for the price, then you abject poverty. It's crazy. So it's my weird idea. But that specifically is why I don't like people who oftentimes say devil's advocate, because a lot of times I think it's just kind of a way that people use to like shit on other people's ideas. If it's helpful, I can understand that, where it's like, all right, well, how do you pay for that? And you go, but not in a way of like, that's dumb, you're never going to get that done. Which is typically what I hear when people go like, how are you going to pay for that? Because the world pays for stuff all the time that doesn't make sense on how they came up with the money on it. They just do. How did we get half of the things we ended up living in and using and inefficiency and all these other things? We just do. We do. That's how it works. Money is a construct. It's something that somebody came up with a long time ago, and we all kind of use it and go back and forth to traverse the world. But a sandwich could do just as much as $1 in a lot of ways. A cup of water could do as much as $20 in a lot of ways. It's just interesting. Interesting and crazy at the same time. So today, I'm going to try and ink this piece. I keep saying that, and I haven't done it yet, but I keep making like little thumbnails and stuff. If you've seen my my YouTube channel. You've seen that I've been putting things together. If you've seen my website, jellsblakeblog.com, you can see that I've been putting all these kind of pieces and designs and stuff together. My Patreon's got a lot of really exclusive stuff, so please check that out, Joar Blake. And yeah, about it, honestly. I think I'm going to try and eat the rest of. We don't have a lot of leftovers left from Thanksgiving. I'm not really a Thanksgiving person, but I do like food, so I will eat whatever is left in my fridge for that day, last Wednesday. And there's not much left. It's like stuffing and like some macaroni and cheese. That's about it. And then I've got some tamales and some plátanos, which will be really good. So I'm gonna cook those all together for lunch. And I'm mostly just gonna kind of work on some projects, you know. I'm gonna work on some writing. I'm gonna work on some really beautiful kind of fun things. What's up, bully? I'm gonna work on some really fun things like some concepts for some 3D stuff that I'm trying to do. I'm gonna draw those out, try and hit them from all the angles. I've still got that mechanical keyboard I haven't figured out how to work yet. It's like a mini keyboard. It's supposed to be like shortcuts. It's got like knobs and stuff. So yeah. Oh, and the World Cup game is in 5 minutes. So I got to run. Remember, Vai Brazil, you know? Root for my peoples. All right. Have a good one, guys. I'll talk to you later. Banner out. Ciao. At some point in time, I got to come by the shop and say hi to you guys. So I will. Ciao. Later. We did it! We got stuff! We managed to finish the whole show and have fun. So I hope you have a good time. I hope you have a great day. And I will talk to you later. Love you, galeras. Ciao.